What if I told you that the highest paying remote jobs out there are the ones nobody ever talks about just because they sound a little boring? Seriously. While everyone is scrambling for the same cool online jobs, they're leaving this huge, wide open opportunity in fields that just aren't as flashy. Think about it. The problem with those cool jobs is that the competition is just insane. Everybody wants to be the next big YouTuber or a famous social media manager. And that means the jobs that are a little less glamorous, well, they're pretty much always hiring. And that's where the real money is hiding. In these jobs that people have either totally overlooked or maybe never even heard of. Yeah, they might sound boring on the surface, but trust me, their paychecks are anything but. So today, we're going to break down my top 7 boring but seriously high-paying remote jobs. So to figure out which of these jobs really comes out on top, we're going to score them. I've set this up like one of those top trumps card games. You remember those, right? We're going to pit them head-to-head across 5 different categories to see how they really stack up. Okay, here are our 5 stats. First, we've got earning power, which is basically your starting salary. Then the beginner score. How easy is it to get your foot in the door? After that is growth, your potential down the road. Number 4 is survivability. How likely is it that a robot will take your job? And finally, the freedom factor, which is all about your work-life balance and being able to work from anywhere. Let's meet the players. So, with the rules of the game all set, it's time to introduce our 7 contenders. These are the jobs we're putting to the test today. In the ring tonight, we have the short-form strategist, the customer service coordinator, the remote tech specialist, and then we've got some you've probably never even heard of, like the statistics validator and the content risk reviewer. So let's see how they do. All right, let the showdown begin. Let's bring in our first wave of contenders. Kicking things off, we have the short-form strategist. And what's totally wild here is that beginner score. I'm serious, if you've ever fallen into a late-night TikTok rabbit hole, you probably have better instincts for this than someone with a film degree. You're not even making the videos, you're the brain spotting trends for big brands. With a starting salary around 48 grand and a massive 9.5 freedom factor, that is a really strong start. Okay, next up, the customer service coordinator. Have you ever been stuck arguing with an AI bot, just desperately typing "talk to a human"? Well, you get to be that human. You're the essential link between the confused bots and the frustrated customers. The earning power jumps to 65 grand, and wow, look at that, a perfect 10 for growth. Every company needs that human touch, and you're the one who makes it happen. All right, after just one wave, let's pull up the leaderboard. The customer service coordinator has already shot into the lead on earning power and growth, but the short-form strategist is holding strong on the beginner score, survivability, and that super important freedom factor. Time for our second wave. Let's see if these next 2 contenders can shape things up a bit. Our third contender is the remote tech specialist. And hey, if you've ever been a designated person to help your parents with their iPad, this is basically that, but as a job. You're helping small businesses get set up with all the modern tools they need. And with new laws popping up that require things like e-invoicing, the demand for this is just exploding, which is exactly why it scores so high on growth and survivability. Okay, brace yourself for this one, the funeral sales specialist. I know, it sounds pretty morbid, but the pay is anything but, starting at over $75,000. It's all about helping families plan for the future. And the key skill here isn't sales, it's empathy. Just look at that perfect 10 for survivability. There's no way AI can replicate human connection during a time of grief. The freedom factor is a bit lower, though, mainly because of the emotional weight that comes with the role. The competition is getting really interesting now. So, it's time to bring in our final 3 contenders. All right, contender number 5 is the statistics validator. You know, when you see a commercial that says 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this? Well, this is the person who actually checks if that's true. You fact check all those bold marketing claims so that companies don't get sued into oblivion. One wrong number can cost millions, which is why companies are desperate to hire for this role, giving it a perfect 10 for growth. Number 6 is the remote setter. All those online coaches and influencers selling courses, they need someone to fill up their calendars with sales calls. That's you. You're the one sliding into DMs, seeing if someone is a good fit, and then booking the appointment. The earning potential is huge, up to $84,000 a year. But as that freedom factor score suggests, you might be free from the office, but you are definitely not free from your phone. And our final contender, the content risk reviewer. This job is absolutely critical for platforms like YouTube. You're the one making sure that a big brand's ads don't suddenly show up on some inappropriate or horrible video. It pays incredibly well, around $80,000, and has a perfect survivability score because, frankly, AI just isn't good enough to do this. But a really serious warning here. This job is not for everyone. You might have to review some deeply disturbing content. Okay, we've seen all 7 contenders. Each one has its clear strengths and weaknesses. So now, for the moment of truth, let's look at the final scoreboard and see who won in each of our 5 categories. And here are the results. Taking the crown for pure earning power is the remote setter. For the easiest job to start right now, it's a tie between the short-form strategist and the remote setter. For the absolute best growth potential, we've got the customer service coordinator and the statistics validator. If you want a career that is completely AI-proof, look no further than the funeral sales specialist and the content risk reviewer. And finally, for the ultimate freedom factor, the short-form strategist takes the win. So here's the most important thing to take away from all this. There is no single best job. I mean, you saw it. Nearly every single one of these roles won in at least one category. This whole thing wasn't about finding one perfect answer for everyone. It's about figuring out what you care about the most so you can find the job that actually fits your priorities. Which brings us to the final and most important question. Looking at this whole breakdown, which category really speaks to you? Are you trying to maximize your income right now? Are you playing the long game and building a career with massive growth? Or is it all about having the freedom to live and work exactly how you want? The answer to that is what will tell you which of these so-called boring jobs might actually be the perfect opportunity for you.